Please like and subscribe. The year was 2020, and the world was hit by a pandemic unlike anything seen in modern times. COVID-19, a highly infectious disease caused by the SARS-CoV-2 virus, spread rapidly across the globe, leaving a trail of devastation in its wake. As the virus spread, countries scrambled to implement measures to slow its spread. Lockdowns, social distancing guidelines, and mask mandates became the norm, and businesses were forced to close their doors. Schools and universities were shut down, leaving students to continue their education from home. As the pandemic continued, the impact on the global economy became more apparent. Unemployment rates soared as businesses struggled to survive, and supply chain disruptions led to shortages of essential goods. The pandemic disproportionately affected vulnerable populations, such as low-income families and minority communities. The impact of the pandemic on healthcare systems was also severe. Hospitals and medical centers became overwhelmed by the number of cases, and healthcare workers faced shortages of personal protective equipment, PPE, and other essential supplies. Many healthcare workers became infected with the virus themselves, further straining the healthcare system. The pandemic also had a significant impact on mental health, with many people struggling with anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues due to the stress and uncertainty of the situation. Despite the devastating impact of COVID-19, people around the world came together to support one another. Communities organized mutual aid groups to provide essential supplies and support to those in need, and frontline workers were celebrated for their heroism and dedication. As vaccines were developed and approved for emergency use, there was hope that the end of the pandemic was in sight. However, new variants of the virus continue to emerge, and the fight against COVID-19 is far from over. The pandemic has left a lasting impact on society, with many questioning the systems and structures that led to such devastation. The lessons learned from the pandemic will shape the way we approach public health, healthcare, and global cooperation in the years to come. As the world struggled to contain the pandemic, the economic impact of COVID-19 became more apparent. Businesses were forced to close, and supply chain disruptions led to shortages of essential goods. Unemployment rates soared, and the global economy entered into a recession. Despite efforts to stimulate the economy through government stimulus packages and other measures, the economic impact of COVID-19 continued to be felt. As countries around the world continue to struggle with the ongoing effects of the pandemic, there are concerns that a possible recession in 2023 could be on the horizon. The supply chain issues caused by the pandemic have led to shortages of essential goods and raw materials, and increased costs for businesses. This has had a ripple effect throughout the economy, with businesses struggling to maintain operations and consumers facing higher prices for goods and services. In addition to supply chain issues, the slowdown in GDP growth also had a significant impact on the global economy. As businesses have struggled to maintain operations and consumer spending has slowed, GDP growth has slowed significantly. This has had a significant impact on the labor market, with many businesses forced to cut jobs or reduce hours. Other factors, such as geopolitical tensions and climate change, have also contributed to the economic uncertainty facing the global economy. As the world continues to grapple with the ongoing effects of the pandemic, it is essential to continue to take steps to mitigate the impact of these factors and work towards a more resilient and sustainable global economy. In conclusion, the devastation caused by the COVID-19 pandemic has had far-reaching impacts on society and the global economy. The pandemic has exposed vulnerabilities and weaknesses in our systems and structures, leading to significant economic and social challenges. As we continue to work towards recovery from the pandemic, it is crucial to address the underlying issues that have contributed to the impact of COVID-19. This includes improving healthcare systems, addressing supply chain issues, and investing in resilience and sustainability. It is also essential to prioritize support for vulnerable populations and to ensure that we learn from the lessons of the pandemic to build a more equitable and sustainable future. While the road ahead may be challenging, we can draw hope from the resilience and compassion demonstrated by people around the world during this crisis. With continued global cooperation and commitment, we can work towards a brighter future for all. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.